bioconvergence is a domain that we'll see more and more of in the next few years for a number of reasons. One, we see, for example, with the current COVID pandemic, it's really changing the way we practice healthcare, and I think it's going to continue changing the way we practice healthcare. And in addition, we're going to see the digital world start to intermingle, as you've said, with the biological world to help bring better care to our patients. And to that end, I want to highlight a few specific things that I think are going to make a real difference in how we treat our patients. The first, as we look forward, patients are going to be looking for convenience. No longer is the default to go to a doctor, to go to a hospital. People think twice. And to that end, we're going to need to find ways to remotely monitor our patients in order to understand how they are, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, and to understand whether or not they display symptoms of abnormality of any different types of conditions. Because as I've said, it is no longer the default to have a face-to-face interaction with their caregivers. So not only is it enough to track now, if we have the mechanisms to track patients, to provide them that convenience, we also need to be able to be aware of the context of those patients. So different patients showing the same symptoms, the outcome may be different and the treatment paths may be different. So not only do we need to provide constant monitoring, but we also need to be context aware of the patients, their patient's history, what their prior medical conditions are, where they are geographically, and other conditions that may affect how we treat them. And this obviously ties in to what in the biological world we treat them with. So we look at remote monitoring, constant monitoring, we look at context-aware monitoring and gathering of information. And as another component of that, there's also understanding risk. As we see, especially today with COVID, understanding the risk of a population. Which patients are more at risk of infection, which patients have a higher likelihood of infecting others, how does the disease spread? So the ability to track populations and to understand the risk profile of different populations in different places is also going to be extremely critical in informing us how we take care of our patient populations going forward. Another component of bioconvergence is security. As we gather more and more data, as we gather it remotely, there's going to be an increased emphasis on making sure that patient data really is secure and that patients can count on the enterprises that they work with, on the physicians that they work with, on the companies that they work with to make sure that their patient data is kept secure, transferred in a secure way between physicians and enterprises as well. And if we take it to the next step, so we're able to monitor, we're able to understand risk, we're able to understand populations, and we're able to understand context of patients. Now we have to be able to take that and to actually provide care. And care is divided into several aspects. One is real-time care. So if we need to interact with patients in a real-time setting, emergency settings, all of that data that has been gathered has to be made available to units or to physicians or to EMTs that are taking care of patients in real time, so that obviously the right patient intervention or treatment can be provided. Additional aspects of the bioconvergence trend are also obviously going to be things around genomics. Genomics is advancing at significant speeds. It's not just the sequencing, but it's also the interpretation and the understanding of what a certain genomic profile has to do with certain disease types and susceptibility to certain disease types. So that is yet another data point and another layer of information that is going to be added in order to be able to take care of patients in the right way with the right biologicals. Another component is diagnostics, whether it's imaging, advanced visualization, quantification of diseases in automatic digital ways, and all the AI and decision support tools that come along with those capabilities to inform the caregivers on how to better take care of their patients. And yet another aspect is pathology. As we gather more information about our patients, pathologists, whether it's for oncology, biopsy purposes, et cetera, need to understand whether the right treatment has been given, whether patients are in the clear, so to speak. And that is yet another layer of information that is added on top of all the other types of information that we have. So to summarize, we have significant amounts of information being gathered on an ongoing basis that allows us to track patients, understand their context, provide them the safety, the security, the feedback that they need to the physicians in order to understand what really needs to happen in the context of taking care of our patients. And all of that is going to merge closer and closer with the biological world in order to provide better care to our patients overall. I think it's an exciting time, and we have yet to see many innovations come through. Thank you.